Hey guys, Garage RC here today. So I thought I'd try something different today and actually show you the setup that I use for racing. So this is our garage, and you can see I've moved all the gym equipment to one side and I've laid down the track. So the track, I've actually changed the shape of the circuit design so it's more friendly towards both drift cars and race cars, so I don't have to try and extend the track outside. So as you can see, I've got a screen over there, which is our lap timer. The bridge, makeshift bridge made from pipes, has our sensors on it. And a shelf over here has got lots of my cars on there, which are very messy at the moment, but need organising. Although usually they are more organised, but because of the lockdown, I've been using them a lot more. So it gives you an idea of what the circuit's like. Okay, so let's go over to the screen and show you how this all works. So I'll just show you the bridge first. So this bridge here has sensors on it, and you can see those red lights. They change to green each time a car passes underneath, and it makes a noise that you can hear through the lap counter. So here's my laptop here. I'm using Z Race Manager, and here I've got a TV screen hooked up with the cars, and you can see some lap times on there. So the best lap time on there is in green. Ignore the one for Nissan GTR, that's just me practicing with the DRZ. So, and each car has a little transponder built into it. So the transponder in this case is the little green piece of circuitry stuck on top of the speed controller there. Now I'm going to turn the BZ3 on, and you can see the blue light, that's the transponder. These transponders I got from Banggood are really good. The blue light lets you know it's on. With the other ones I got with the race system, they're slightly cheaper ones, and there's no light to let you know the transponder's working. The only way you can tell is when you pass it underneath one of the sensors. So you see the light go green there, so that tells it's registered the car. Now I'm going to turn everything on, so just bear with me. So there's two ways you can run this. One is as a race, and one is as qualifying. So I'm going to run qualifying, so that's just practice is what it's called. So ignore that. Start training.
Track open for drivers.
So then she starts talking.
DRZ, GLA GT3, BZ3. This lap and race BZ3 7.871 seconds. This lap and race BZ3 7.220 seconds. This lap and race BZ3 7.019 seconds.
So you can see here I've got the times already, and you can also see the GLA has done a 7.3 already. The BZ3 did a 7.019. Now that's the first time I've really driven the GLA without the servo causing me issues, and already I'm getting times pretty much on the BZ3. There's only 0.3 of a second there in it, and I'm sure I'll close that up pretty soon.
This lap and race GLA GT3 7.734 seconds. This lap in Race GLA GT3 7.249 seconds. This lap in Race GLA GT3 7.204 seconds. This lap in Race BZ3 6.923 seconds. One minute end of race now. This lap in Race BZ3 40 seconds end of race now.
So guys, I hope that was fun. You got to see how the lap timer works behind the scenes in the garage, how we race and how everything's set up, and how the lap timers, the sound, the transponders work with the actual ezlap lap timing system. The software is free. You can download it off the ZRound website, and it's pretty good on the whole, pretty good. Just want to quickly go over a couple of things that I learned from today. Now, ultimately, the BZ3 got the faster time on that circuit, and it wasn't by a lot, you know. So I think he got 6.8 and the GLA got 7.2 or something. So it wasn't loads difference. It was only a fraction. The GLA servo, the XRX servo, worked really well. I had to mess around to get the positioning right for this servo to fit, but I've noticed now it is actually limiting the steering that the arm is hitting. So I think I could improve the GLA because it did feel less responsive on the corners. The tracking was brilliant. The car was like it was on rails down the straights, and when it was turning accurately, but I felt the BZ3 could turn in more, so I could carry more speed into the corner. I think just by changing this to the original servo or get a new one or something equivalent, which I can position so that arm gets a more range of motion, so it's kind of hitting there and stopping it. I think once I've done that, they are going to be pretty much inseparable. The GLA is amazing, and it was very accurate, and it was lovely to actually get some nice circuits on it without having any issues. So yes, reducing the offset worked, no problems with the servo. Using a standard servo arm instead of the servo saver worked really well. This XRX servo is pretty good. I need to mess around with the positioning though, I think, just to get that last bit of steering range, and then I think this car will be spot on. So pretty happy on the whole, guys. Had a great time racing there. I've got lots of other footage to come out from the day. Some great footage of my DRZ, which I've done some light upgrades to, which I'm looking forward to showing you guys. So if you like the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're growing really, really well thanks to your help. Anyone who watches who isn't a subscriber, please subscribe. All your subs count. And I look forward to seeing you next time.